All right, a very good morning, dear children. Welcome to your EVS1 class. Okay, so far, what have you been learning? We have been learning about animal behavior. We have started the chapter animal behavior, right? And today we are going to continue with the same. All right. So today we are going to learn what is animal behavior. Okay. And relate the behavior of different animals with the benefits of the behavior of the animals. Okay, so let's get started. So remember, children, what we had done before? So remember, children, what we had done before? We had learned why two animals. What was the difference between the two animals in the picture? What do you see? You see a leopard who is all alone and a herd of elephants, right? Now we learned that animals like leopard, then bears, they like living alone. Tigers as well, they like living alone. And animals like elephants, they do not like living alone. They like living in big groups. Okay, so remember that. Today we are going to learn why these animals, what is the importance of the behavior of such animals. Okay, we had also learned in the end of our last class, we had learned about certain physical characteristics of animals. Remember that? We had learned that some animals like lion and tigers, their ears, they're always forward. Okay, they have forward looking ears, very sharp ears. They have a very sharp sense of hearing, but the ears are always forward. You can see in the picture, right? You can check the picture out and you can see that lions and tigers have very forward looking ears. But we had also learned that animals like rabbits, what do they have? Their ears can move in different directions. You can see the picture, right? One of the ear of the rabbit is standing very straight and the other one is drooping down. All right. So these were the differences in the ears of the animals. We had also learned in our previous class that hair, some animals have a lot of hair on their body, right? You can see the picture of a bear, and you can see that bear is a very furry animal, just like cats, right? There are some cats which are also very furry. They have a lot of very thick hair on their body. But animals like elephants, they do not have a lot of hair. They have very small tiny hair on their body. Okay, if we see our skin, we will see that we have very small little hair on our skin as well, but we have a lot of hair on our head, right? We are also some kind of animal, right? Okay, we had also learned about the nose of the animal. Can you see the elephant here, children? The nose of the elephant is very long. It is called. Okay, so the nose of the elephant is very long and it is very useful for the elephant as well, right? Okay, so and we had learned that some animals have tails, right? And some animals like kangaroos have a very long tail. You can see in the picture that the kangaroo has a very long tail, right, children? Alright, so we had learned that some animals have a very long tail, right? Like the tail of a kangaroo. Okay. Alright, so we had learned on our previous classes that some animals, they like living in groups, right? And some animals like living in groups. For example, deer, horses, wild dogs, bisons, elephants and wolves, right? And today we will learn why these animals, they like living in groups. Okay. All right, let's see. Come on. Okay. Benefits of living in groups. So we had learned in our previous classes. Now we had also discussed about this topic. Remember that when animals, they live in groups, they can protect themselves better from the enemies. Okay, so when a bison lives in a big huge group, right, it becomes very difficult for a animal like tiger to attack them. They attack them all right, but when they live in groups, then other animals, those lone animals, right, like bears, tigers, leopards, they cannot attack them easily. Okay, and the young ones are better looked after. Okay, So when animals they live in groups, the children of those animals are very much looked after by all the members of the family. Okay, just like our human, in our humans as well, when we live in a family, everyone looks after the young ones, right? So when we look in so when animals they live in groups, the young ones are better looked after. Okay, and when animals they live in groups, they can look for food and shelter together. Okay, so when they live together, whatever they find, they share it among themselves. Okay, we humans also do the same, right? Our dad, he brings food from the market, our mom prepares them, or our parents they prepare all the food for us, and after that what do? We eat it all together, right? So just like that, animals also, when they live in groups, they can look for food and shelter. They can look for food, they can hunt for food together, they can find grasslands together. Okay, so like bisons who live in groups, animals who live in groups, they can look for food and shelter together. All right, in a group, an animal which is strong and powerful is generally the leader, and the other animals they follow it. Okay, so in a group we had learned, right, that the strongest lion is always the leader. And then remember, a pack of hyenas, in a pack of hyenas the female is always the leader. Okay, so generally the powerful animal is the leader. Let us look at a few of the pictures from our last class, that is the herd of elephants. Then we had also seen a herd of deer. Remember, in deers had a separate group for males and a separate group for females and children. Okay. Okay, pride of lion. So you can see, right? In a pride of lion, the hairiest lion, okay, the hairiest male lion is the leader, and that leader, it governs over the pack of the other smaller, weaker lions. Okay, it looks after them. It is the king of that small little pack. Okay. All right, area marking. We had also learned about area marking. We had learned that some animals they mark the area they live in, right? What do dogs do? Dogs generally urinate in that area to mark their area. And leopards, they mark their area by rubbing themselves against the plant or the area. Okay, and what are the benefits of area marking? The benefits of area marking are that when the area is marked by one animal, another animal cannot come in that area. Okay, so when a leopard rubs itself off in the trees and branches in the forest area, so what does it mean? It means that that area is that leopard's area, and another leopard cannot come in that area. Okay, generally what happens is that in one place the food available in that area is not enough to survive for more than one animal. Suppose a leopard lives in a small jungle and the deers are very limited, and that food is only limited for that leopard only. And if another leopard comes in, there will not be enough food. And if there is not enough food, what will happen? Both the leopards will die. So that means when the leopard marks its area, it means that that area is only for that animal only, and other animals cannot come in. Okay, so when the animal marks its area, it makes its like it marking helps the animal to survive better. So how? When the animal marks its area, it will have more food for itself, right? And when it has more food for itself, it can survive better. All right. And moving to another place, we had learned in our previous class that some animals like animals and birds like Siberian crane, monarch butterflies, salmon, what do? They go from one place to another. So when they go from one place to another, so what does it mean? All right. Generally, animals like Siberian crane, we had learned that Siberia is a very cold country, right? And in the winters, the Siberia freezes over. The beautiful lake that you see, it will freeze over, and there will be no food for the Siberian crane. So what will the Siberian crane do? It will come and fly for thousands of kilometers, and it will fly to a warmer climate. Okay, it will fly to a warmer climate and find its food there. So why do, okay, and even sleeping, some animals they sleep for a long long time. For example, we had learned about bats and bears and ground squirrels. They sleep for a long time, they sleep for months at an end. And what why do they do that? Why do some animals move from one place to another and some animals sleep for a long long time? Why do they do that? Because these behaviors help the animal to live in tough weather conditions and adjust to the changes in the availability of food. Okay, for example, bears, polar bears, you have heard about them, right? So polar bears, they live in Antarctic areas and they are very cold. When the winter comes, there is no food at all. So what does the bear do? It eats a lot of food in the summers, and when it eats a lot of food in the summers, it can store that food inside its body. Okay, and then it can sleep for a long long winter. All right, so it helps the animals to live through tough weather conditions. Similarly, the Siberian crane lives in Siberia, and Siberia gets very cold, and in the winters there is no food for the Siberian crane, so it will fly for thousands and thousands of kilometers. It will find a warmer place and it will search for its food there. Okay, so today's questions. Let me ask a few questions to see if some everyone has understood. Okay. So we have learned about Siberian crane in our previous class. Okay. So can you tell me why a Siberian crane moves from one place to another? That's a question for you. Okay. Another question is that have you noticed street dogs sometimes urinate to mark their area? Can you tell me why? Okay. So there are two questions for you to ponder over. And I hope you like today's class. We will see you in the next class. Okay. Thank you.